So I don't know what to tell you guys. We are continually depleting our inventory. And if we were in the shoe sales business, we'd be closing our store, because the only reason people come to the shoe store is to pick out shoes. And if you don't have shoes, but at the same time, I will tell you that we're not out of shoes, because you guys did a fantastic job this month. We took 175 new shoes. Problem is, there's only 38 of them still for sale because they're flying off the shelves. So shoes are in high demand. So we're going to focus on getting some shoes today. So let me jump into the agenda. One chat up so far. Am in. Okay. Mike, will you look for Misty or Sean, because they're probably going to join us. And I was trying to get somebody else, but I'm not sure if we're going to get them or not. So let's see. Wow, a lot of people online. That's awesome. Maritza, I haven't seen you in forever. I'm glad to see you here this morning. Nancy, as always. Okay, let's see who else. Misty, good morning. Misty, why don't we start with you, because I know you've got a busy day because you've got post-closing going on.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
So I just wanted to fill you guys in on a couple of trainings that we have coming up.
Let me remind everybody first. So this is Misty. She's taken over the management of Paramount Titles operations in both Sun City, Apollo Beach, and the Beach is working with Kathy. So she's our representative for Paramount. She's going to give us an update pretty much every week to make sure you know what's going on. And we had one hell of a week last week. So
yeah, that is my goal, to be on here every Tuesday so you guys don't forget about us. And we do offer some good trainings. I know the last one that we had, it wasn't necessarily the content that was presented, but sometimes those trainings can be very boring if you don't have the right person presenting the training. So I apologize. I hate that it was a boring training. They will not be like that going forward. On February 11th at 10, we have a course called How Does Homestead Affect Your Property? So this is just a good reminder for you guys and the clients, so you have this knowledge whenever you have a closing, making sure that your client knows about homestead. We do try to convey that information at the closing table, but it just makes you look, very smart whenever you know all the aspects of closing and even after closing. And I know some agents send postcards out after closing reminding their client to file for homestead. So this is a class about homestead. And then February 3rd, we have the Title Tech Tuesday. So that is a review of all of the services that Florida Agency Network has to offer, all of our new apps. I know that can be challenging for some of us, even me. I'm not, I'm kind of a pick up the phone kind of a gal. I'm not necessarily an app kind of person, but in this day and age, you got to know how to do both. So, but that's all I have. We'll be sending out emails on those, so you guys are aware of when those are happening.
Awesome. So Misty closed the sale for me on Friday, and here I am. I just have to admit, I'm bad. I tell you guys, do not close the end of the month. And the opportunity to close popped up at the end of the month. And I just rang all hell's bells and walked in, and Misty closed me in like 4 minutes flat. It was pretty freaking awesome. But
because Craig knew what he was doing and what he was signing. So
yeah, don't explain this to me. I know what it is. Boom. But it was kind of cool. I really, really enjoyed making my earnest money deposits without having to leave my desk. That was very, 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 very convenient. And the virtual assistant, I didn't really need, because I was so in touch with my agent and the title company. I knew what was going on before the virtual assistant did. But if I was a normal customer, having that virtual person to go to ask any question was kind of neat. So something we had to learn about. And it's my fault. I mentioned to Amy in passing that the speaker for the last presentation was not very engaging. I mean, she never turned her camera on. I just had a couple complaints. So don't feel bad for that, because here's the deal. Title insurance is not really that sexy.
No.
Right. And it's really hard to make a class about homestead exemption exciting, right? So don't expect it. But your knowledge of homestead exemption, and hopefully we can pop some portability in there, um, is paramount, no pun intended, to your success. I mean, you have to have that confidence and competence to talk about some of the boring things, because I'll say this one: the boring things lead to results that are exciting, right? It's not exciting to go and talk to 20 people a day, every day, 5 days a week, 30 days a month, or 20 days a month. Boring, 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 boring. But if you do the boring things consistently, the boring things lead to results that are exciting. So knowing homestead, knowing those little ins and outs of our business are important. So thank you, Misty, very much.
Thank you guys. Have a good week.
Okay, have fun post-closing. Because you guys know that it's just like us. When the closing's done for you, it's pretty much done for you. But most departments have a post-closing department, and after closing is when not all, but a lot of the work continues to go on. So that being said, sharing my screen. Let's meet me in Mexico. Okay, that sounds good. That was the music I was trying to play, but I'm sorry, my music doesn't come across on this thingy. All right, some quotes. Your capacity to believe in yourself is your greatest potential asset. I would agree. How many of you believe you can accomplish what you set out to accomplish in Q1? If not, work with us and together we'll help you do that. And then you won't have to believe it anymore because you'll know it to be true. Number two, don't just tell people your plans, show them your results. That's probably one of the oldest sales games in the process. I hear a lot of people promising things that they're going to do and then they never do them. I personally have a very, very large listing presentation this morning. And this quote right there is exactly what they're doing. So we're negotiating the listing agreement today. They've already selected me. Now we're negotiating the listing agreement, and it's a commercial listing agreement, and they have shredded it. And it is all about detail specifics. You're going to do this, 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 you're going to do this. And there's no negotiation. It's I'm going to do that. You know, I've got to talk to 35 people. I've got to introduce this property to 35 different people, which I have to find. But I mean, that's how nitpicky they are on it. So don't talk about what you're gonna do, just show them what your results are. Number three, people who don't decide their futures, they decide their habits, and their habits decide their futures. Isn't that interesting? You have a choice. Your habit can be to get up every morning and go for a walk, or your habit can be to stay in bed and not go for a walk. Which habit is going to lead to a different result? Number four, don't be afraid to start over if things aren't working well. It gives you a chance to build something better. I love the attitude. It just makes all the difference in the world. Don't be, you cannot hang out with the negative people and expect to have a positive life. Be careful who you hang out with. Oof. That might be one of the best reasons to work at this company, because the negative people don't really fit in here. And when they don't fit in here, they leave. And we're a pretty positive group of people. So there you go. I'm not going to bore you with this slide again because I don't think it's that important or relevant to y'all. It is to me. But what is important to you is one of the intentions I set for the company for the year is to help 3,000 customers close transactions, resulting in $22 million in commission, which 80% goes to y'all. But I want 20% of those transactions to be company generated with referral fee to the company. And just so you know where we're working in that direction, and we have a lot of resources going there right now, we're going to start a test with Home Partners of America, where they're going to send us broker leads and we're going to market their program, and we're going to send leads to a team of you who will be growing. Right now, we think we limited it to about 30 people that raise their hand, and we're going to start with that and see where it goes. But they're hoping alone that we can do 200 transactions just with them of our 600. So that's kind of cool. And I just want to bring this up because the concept is, at least in my world or my belief, when you set the intention, the universe aligns to help you find ways to make that happen. So setting the intention of 600 transactions, and all of a sudden Home Partners of America decides to partner with us as one of the top brokers in the country to do this program, and they want to give us, they want to strive for us to get 200 leads. That's to me a result of setting the intention, which is why I'm so hard on y'all for setting the intentions of what you want to accomplish every quarter. So that, plus we're having a really cool experience with Ojo, which we're going to refine a little bit more. The Realogy Advantage Broker Network. Ashley, are you online?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
If you have an announcement you would like to make, let me pause my not new share, stop share.
I want to do a huge. I hear myself echoing.
Nope, you're still fine. Sound good on my end.
Okay. Huge congratulations to Century 21 Vegan making platinum for the year of 2020, and that is because of the awesome agents, incredible managers. Congratulations! That makes a big deal for everybody. So that means that we're ultimately, what it means is we're going to be able to get more leads. So congratulations! Seriously, you all did an amazing job, even putting up with me.
That's 3 years in a row, Ashley. That's awesome.
4.
Oh, 4, excuse me. Lost track. Thank you.
Craig, you're on mute. You always say it to us.
I didn't mute myself. Mike Puma's messing with me.
I had to mute you because it was echoing too badly. When it's echoing on our end, it's because of your system. So we got to mute you.
And I was trying so hard to focus on what I was saying because I couldn't hear myself.
Okay, so what I want to say is congratulations to you and now Kim, because managing that process, you guys don't understand, don't need to understand. It's huge. The amount of resources and knowledge and dedication and focus to measure the different apparatuses between the affinity business and the broker-to-broker business and the corporate relocation business, and the metrics they're held to. It's a big deal. And I think it's very rare that a brokerage has never not made platinum, which
definitely is very rare. And I had a call with Denise yesterday, and she said that because we ended up with 36 points and we needed 31 to hit platinum, she said that we had the most organic growth of points than any of her other brokerages. There's a few other brokerages that paid out. Craig, you're gonna like this one, and to the tune of almost $100,000 to get additional points in different places, but I didn't do that. So you guys rocked it. So thank you so much, and I'm excited for this year so that we have the opportunity to get those leads and grow 2020.
Okay. So anyway, so that's a big part of our brokerage creating business for our agents that they wouldn't have had elsewhere. So that's kind of a little message that I wanted to get across from the intentions that we're trying to set. Here are the facts, and I really enjoyed this part. I enjoyed most of this part. Last week I reported we had 216 listings active in inventory. This week we're down to 205. I'm not going to beat you or anything. I'm just going to give you the facts, and that's what it is. So if you have any extra focus, it has to be on listings right now. We took, which is amazing, 175 listings in January, and 138 of them are already pending, which means my math is wrong. 39 are still for sale. So something's wrong on that math. It was late. January sales, 221 open sales for $2.1 million in commission. I didn't take the time to look up January last year, but I can tell you damn well it wasn't that high. So January is usually a pretty, slow out of the gate month. 221 for $2 million is awesome. This one is a little troublesome because I'm pending. We have 76 contracts yet to close by last Friday, which I'm not going to ask you to avoid closing at the end of the month. I'm going to ask you to pay attention when you're writing a contract to pick a closing date that's not at the end of the month. Right? It really does create a lot of stress and drama. I mean, who was it? Somebody I was talking to, we needed to have a close. Oh, it's one of the Mirror Bay closes. The title company, and it wasn't ours, didn't have any times open to close. A closing, you got to plan an hour to an hour and a half for a closing if it's a mortgage and all that stuff involved, right? Well, how many hour and a halves are there in a day? when you're a small title, and it wasn't our title company, it was a small title company with one closing agent. The most you can do is 6 or 7 closings a day. And then you want to do 10, you physically can't do it. So just pay attention when you're in dot loop, writing your contracts, picking a closing date, use the calendar function and see what it is, especially when, the 29th is the last day of the month. We only had 131 closings. We were supposed to have a really, 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 really strong closing month. But with those 76 closings not closing in time and the 131 that did close, it just turned out to be a mediocre, we lost money in January month, which is weird. So I put a whole bunch of question marks in a string there just to say, what is going on? However, not counting the rollover from January, which will likely roll over into February, February is set to close 195 units for $2 million in commission. Any month that starts with $2 million just puts a really big smile on my face. So I can't wait till we can get together and have parties. Versus February of last year, we had 131 closings for 900,000. So double the volume and almost double the units. And we already heard from Misty from Paramount Title. Okay, so with that being said, stop my share, and I want to play a game, and I want to ask, let's see, what do I want to ask? Let me ask this. I'm going to pick on, I don't want to mention names. Kathleen, I would like you to think of an agent and an activity they're doing that, no, don't name names, that you think is really impressive. And let's just go around, all of us, think of something that somebody's doing that is just like, wow, I'm impressed. What a great idea.
Activity that all my peeps are doing, so I can't pick just one, is 2 to 3 listing appointments a week, and they're killing it.
Wow, that's super impressive. Chris Reed, something you've seen somebody do that you think, wow, I wish more people would be doing this.
I've seen a few of them doing what we're asking them to do, delivering CMAs and pricing analysis to neighborhoods and homes and getting appointments, previews, pricing appointments, listing presentations from that. So literally showing up, going into a neighborhood, knocking on doors, dropping off a CMA or a pricing analysis on a home, or just a brief little explanation of a range of where their price is. And it's getting conversations. The people that are getting out and knocking on doors and talking to people are getting opportunities.
Yeah, and it's those people that are not coming up with the excuses, because I can already hear it. Yeah, but the neighborhood I want to work in has gated and they won't let me in. Well, then pick a neighborhood that's not gated.
We've got an agent going into a gated community. She found a home that was for sale, went into the community, knocked on some doors, went to 3 or 4 expired listings in there and dropped off pricing analysis to them and knocked on their door and had a conversation with half of them at least. And one conversation was not the greatest, but the other ones were positive experiences. So there's an excuse and there's an objection and some way to overcome every excuse. There's no reason that you shouldn't be doing something. And if you have a gated community, go to the one next door that's not gated.
Exactly. They probably know somebody in the gated one. Joe Diener, something you're seeing people do that you think is a great idea that's working.
Yeah. Good morning. Yes. I'm really excited because there's some agents that actually put together a marketing strategy for this year, and they're going through it, contacting their past clients, and a real method of continuing the engagement with them. And I'm looking forward that it's going to pay off.
Right. So tell me that again. So they're putting together a marketing.
They put together a marketing strategy for touch points. In other words, how many times am I going to touch my past clients during the year, and what am I doing in each of those? Am I mailing something? Am I calling them? Am I, sending out a calendar magnet? Am I sending out a baseball magnet? Are they signed up for the preferred client club? So any of those things, and actually making a strategy of how they're touching them so they don't forget them, and putting a plan in place.
I love it.
Nothing happens without a plan, you know.
Exactly right. And I was going to say, creating the plan is one thing, implementing the plan is another.
Correct.
If you're going to take the effort to implement, to create, let's implement as well.
Right.
Deborah Haley, I think I know what you're going to say, but give me an idea.
What do you think I'm going to say?
I think you're going to pick on a door knocker in particular, but I could be wrong.
Nope. Actually, this year I set up, and I do have some people that are door knocking. Actually, we're going after farming in Sun City really well, but that's not what I want to talk about. What I did set up with all my producers this year was a 2021 business plan. I downloaded all their past clients over the last 5 years, and we set up a plan for them to start going after all their past clients on a weekly basis, and they are doing it, and they're working phenomenally. Devonna has been working on 7 listings. She's got 2 or 3 coming up. Sandy just listed 5 from past clients that will be coming live this week. 5. I've got Dick's got 2 listings coming up that he's working on. Robin got a listing, and she's also got it under contract within a day. So is Celeste, but it's all from past clients, guys. It's from past clients. The producers, if you've got past clients, there's no reason not to start reaching out and gently massaging them and talking to them and finding out who they know that wants to buy or sell real estate, and if they're ready yet, because the interest rates are so low. So that was our business plan we put together, that I put together with my top producers this year, actually with about half the office that are playing the game with me right now. So I'm very, very proud because we're already seeing results, and I'm really excited because we are going after listings.
That's awesome. And that's probably the best place to get your listings from, because every house is lived in by somebody.
Yes.
Both houses that are lived in by somebody were sold to by an agent who no longer stays in touch with them.
Absolutely.
Ashley, your department is 12% of the company's volume. So what have you seen that's been super positive for your department?
I actually really like one of the agents doing, and this is so going to call this person out, a locals Facebook page, so that they are highlighting other people and their success in different businesses, and growing their influence that way.
Cool. Now they mentioned AGRs by chance?
I'm sure they do every time. Actually, she's actually one of the top Relo ones. So thank you.
Go Lauren.
You know who.
Go Lauren.
Exactly.
Go Lauren.
I know. That's exactly who it is.
Otis Bass, I'm going across my screen, so you're at bottom left.
Okay. Piggybacking off of what Deborah Haley said and Joe Diener said, what we've seen that I really like to see is agents who did their business plan, evaluated it, made some slight adjustments, but more importantly, implemented the touch points for their past clients, especially if they were a buyer's agent. Now they've got a bunch of homeowners in their portfolio that they can touch. And then there's one other example is there's a guy we hired a couple of months ago last year, and he doesn't have much of a sphere. But what he's done is he's gotten into Remine, mastered it, gotten into Forewarn, mastered it, and then he drives around and he's just implemented those tools in the door knocking. And he's really, he's starting to take off, and you're going to see some good things out of him. And so he didn't even bother with the other plans because he knew he didn't have much of a sphere. So he took the tools that we have for door knocking and using Scott Wheeler as a cash guy, and he's going after him that way for empty lots, tear downs, fix and flips, stuff like that. So those, between touch points and what that guy's doing, there's not going to be much that stops him.
Love it. Mr. Simmons?
I have an agent that's out there that's making about 10 to 15 calls to FSBOs. He's actually getting appointments, at least one appointment every week. And
Wow.
Right now he has 3 listings. So what he's strategizing is on our marketing, how effective our marketing is versus just them trying to sell it on their own. And it's working.
Love it. All right. Mr. Beggins, you want to bring us home?
Yeah, what I love, I've got 2 specific ones to talk about. One is, first of all, the decision was made to put the blinders on, right? And one person has a huge sphere, And so she decided to not do anything but work her sphere, play auto networks, do the texting game, hitting 15 contacts a day, and not kind of a soft sell, a direct, hey, I need your help. You know, people I don't know, who do you know that's thinking about it, and just going straight to it and saying, help me. Right. And it's working and getting a lot of great leads. And then I got one other example is a new person that just started with us not long ago. And she doesn't have a sphere at all. And so her only option is hitting the absentees. And so she's working in one specific town and actually printed out everybody, went into Forewarn, built the database, and is making the calls down there. So, but blinders on. She's not tempted to do open houses and FSBOs and expireds. She's just doing that with blind faith and just mastering it. So guys, all of you, just commit to whatever it is your favorite and just go all in, and everything works. But just, you got to stay focused right now. So I'm proud of the people that are just staying focused on that.
I love it. So guys, what's really important here is, you know, I'm exceptionally proud of the management team. I think we're world class. I mean, we're casual, we're fun, but I think we're world class as far as management goes. And you've just heard that management team speak about the agents that are implementing the tools and systems we're talking about and nailing it. Right. So this isn't theory. This isn't a hypothesis. It's really stuff that's actually working. And Jeff, I think talking about it with the blinders on, because if you're putzing around with open houses over here, you're going to stress yourself out. You know, if you can keep your blinders on and work a schedule, you can actually have work-life balance, which is really, 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 really hard in real estate. You know, your phone, you're on call all the time. You got to answer every number that comes in. Although we're not doing that. I can talk more about that in a minute. It's just there. So we're going to do our best to help you segregate. And I know there's lots of opportunities between the Cartus team, between the Home Partners team, between the Zillow team, between all these other things. You know, it's hard to do it all, right? And if you do it all, you're going to get overwhelmed. So pick one thing to really focus on and then augment or dabble in a couple. But, you know, when the things are coming up, dabbling isn't working. It takes commitment now. I'm watching, I had my Ops City meeting Thursday or Friday last week. It's obscene how fast you have to be. You know, they sent us, I'll show you the dashboard if you want to see it. I'm going to make this number up. It's going to be really, really close to. They sent us 500 opportunities. We tried to click on 150 of them, and we won 46 of them. And that ratio is almost exactly right. It's just not exact. And the winning click time was 9 seconds. So that's where the industry is going on the buyer lead side of things, as if the lead aggregators are going to get paid when you close leads. So they're only going to give leads to those that are responsive, which makes sense, right? Because they only get paid if you close something. And so the way OpCity does it is they'll broadcast 5 messages out at one time, and the first person to click it gets it. And it could be a Century 21, it could be a Berkshire Hathaway, it could be a Remax, it could be a Dipstick Realty, right? And if you don't click it fast, you're missing it. So what they said to me yesterday for best practices is limit your OpCity team. Pull the non-performers off so the performers get more at-bats because they'll close it. But what happens in real life is the more at-bats you win, the more leads you get. And then you get so busy doing your lead follow-up that you get slow on your new leads. And then here's the next word that's going to be coming out of my mouth a lot. Then you get deprioritized, right? So now the new thing is, if you are getting swamped and you're overwhelmed with the leads you currently have, you need to snooze yourself to take a pardon so they don't give you more that you fail. Because if you fail, you're going to get deprioritized. There you go. We're like autonomons. We talked about the computers taking over the world. Well, this is artificial intelligence turning us into machines that are rated by our efficiency and our effectiveness. And it's crazy. And most real estate agents play that game because they're not willing to do the hard things. Now, think about this for a moment. Everything I asked the managers to talk about that they were proud of somebody for doing, what was it about? It was about active lead generation for listings, right? I mean, sorry, there will be agent teams that will hire people to sit there and do this, to collect leads as fast as they can get, and then they'll broadcast them out. That's where that game is headed. So you're much better off in the industry if you're the person who's creating the shoes rather than driving the buyers around. And I'm going to say it one more time, and then I'll switch to the show, but it's baffling to me, not baffling, it's every time I talk to some professionals somewhere, which I do a lot, they're all amazed at real estate and they're asking me when it's going to crash. And I say, I don't see it crashing anytime soon. And I talk about the Bucks going to the Super Bowl and the Lightning winning the Stanley Cup and the Rays making it to the World Series and the climate, other than today, of Tampa Bay, the interstate system, the airport system, the fact that our economy is based on agriculture and military and high tech is a big part of our industry now. And we're very well diversified in the tech world. Then this work from home movement. And I feel sorry for places. My daughter, Samantha, welcome back. Sammy's living in Tampa again. Yay, Sammy, everybody loves you. The day she moved out of her building, she forgot to reserve the elevator and 4 people were moving out the same day. And that's not a normal occurrence where 4 people move out of a small apartment complex the same day. Right? There's mass migrations and it's going to keep coming. And the result is you're going to see price appreciation. I think I shared with you an article a week or 2 ago. They're forecasting 5 to 7% appreciation in Tampa Bay market. And oh, Jeff, it was you and I talking to Mike Hayjack, our CFO, yesterday. I mean, guys, this conversation is like not a normal one. But one of his guys, a friend of his, has a client who just sold his condo in New York for $19 million. And he took a beating on it because it was worth like $28 million. But to get rid of it, he bought it, dumped it for $19 million. And he came here and he bought a condo for $4 million. So in his world, he's living in a nicer condo in a nicer place and saved 15 million bucks, even though you could argue that he lost $10 million on the sale of his condo. All right? That's what's happening. Somebody can go sell in Chicago when I went to visit Sam in November. A shitty townhouse was $2.7 million. Joe, what's a shitty townhouse here cost?
172.
Right. So if you own your condo, your townhouse for 2.9, and you got to dump it at 2 million, and you come here and buy a nice one for 500, you're still $1.5 million ahead. I mean, that's the mentality I want you to start thinking about, rather than, oh my God, Lennar's cheapest house is now 249. Yeah, well, yes, it was 175. Now it's 249, but it's going to be 350 pretty soon. Yeah, everything's going to come up. So it's just amazing what's happening. So keep your, yay for Sam, welcome back. Yes. So keep your mindset checked. Don't listen to the news all the time. Make your own news. That's 100% a true story. $28 million apartment in New York. The guy dumped it for 19 million. So he really lost, $9 million. But he came here and bought a $4 million place and put 15 extra million in his pocket. What's he going to do with that extra 15 million?
He's going to invest it, save
somewhere.
it, and he has no state income tax or city tax.
Right. And he's going to buy a boat, and he's going to buy an RV, and he's going to buy a kayak and a ski boat and a this and a that, and he's going to tumble the economy. It's just going to roll.
And he's no longer going to be single.
There you go. All right. Share my screen again. I am shivering, just so you know. Sorry about that. Okay. So home partners, we're talking about, more to follow on that. We've got a plan we're working on. This is a repeat, but I think it's worth talking about. We had the guest last week from RSP Pro. We've got a class coming up with them on the 5th, which I think is Thursday. So they'll be our guest for Thursday's training this week. Guys, that's kind of important. I mean, we're talking about getting listings. The challenge with getting listings now, not the challenge, but one of the negative side effects are it sells so fast, you don't get any market time for it. So I think you need to take advantage when you get a listing, do a little bit of marketing for yourself so you can get more, because we all know just listed, just sold callers work. So tune in on Thursday as we talk about that. This concept of we're really, as a company, functioning very well in these offices without walls, but I'm concerned that we're missing each other. You know, I see those of you I see, but those who I don't see, if that makes any sense, where we used to at least see each other once in a while. So feel free just to reach out and say hi. We're going to be doing it. I've asked all the managers to reach out and just say hi. You know, I had a funny thought yesterday because all of a sudden, and once again, I talk on the phone all day long. And lately I've been asking the question, how are you and your family with COVID? And all of a sudden the answer is, oh, we had it. Oh, we had it. Oh, we had it. Where last time I kind of focused my conversations on that was before the end of the year. And it was, we're fine. Nope, I don't know anybody who's got it. And all of a sudden we got it. So it came up in the manager meeting yesterday. Masks. Well, I don't have my mask with me here. It's in my car. Actually, one mask in each car. I bought masks that say Century 21 on them. So it's kind of cool. I can walk through the grocery store and just see one. The Centers for Disease Control, what they're saying is when you are not social distancing, you should be wearing a mask to protect yourself from breathing in others' particles and to prevent you from spreading any particles because you've got a mask on. So all businesses and all the counties we work in, the mandate is you must wear a mask when you enter a public building. All right, so we have public buildings. You must wear a mask when you enter a public building. Now, if you're sitting in your desk or in your office and you're not within 6 feet of somebody, you don't need to keep your mask on. But if you get up and you walk around, you should put your mask back on. That's the mandate from the Center for Disease Control. Thank you, Chris, for sending that to me. So that's our rule. When you come into the building, you have a mask on. When you're talking to somebody in close proximity, you wear your mask. When you are by yourself and not within 6 feet of somebody else, feel free to take your mask off. That's the rule. That's what we're supposed to do. So that's how it works. Now, what's the enforcement of that? I don't know. You're gonna get wet noodled with a wet noodle. I don't know. Just be responsible. And by God's sake, if you are feeling sick in any way, shape, or form, do not come to the office. Right? That's it. This is common sense. We need to talk about it. So that's it. I wanted to give Puma kudos. Coastal Acquisitions is Scott Wheeler, who's a guy who's one of our investors who will buy anything. And I wanted the whole company to be aware of him because he's a really big asset. If you got a piece of shit property that, you know, it's going to need a lot of work, he's a cash buyer for it. But he's overwhelmed with the opportunities we bring him. So Mike sent out some emails, look for them last week, about how to sign up or present a property to Scott. So I just think it's neat. We come up with an idea and then Puma writes a website and things just happen. So that's kind of cool. I'll keep you more news updated on AARP when we come up to have more. Welcome our new agents. I'm going to do that now with quite a few. And I think for the ease of my mind and my eyesight, I'm not going to read their entire bios because you guys are getting these. But Lee Gregory is welcome new to the Sun City Center office. Lee, welcome to our company. Ed Panis is Shelley's husband. He's been around for a long time, so I guess he just got licensed finally. But Ed, welcome to the team. Valerie Green's going to be fun because Randy Green was my business chairperson for my Vistage group for 15 years. And Valerie married Randy last year or the year before. No, there's last year. So Randy has retired from my Vistage group and he's going to come work for us and run our business brokerage department because Randy's been selling business brokerages for a long time. And Valerie's going to work alongside Randy and also to take care of his sphere of influence, which is a very huge business. So that's fun. Suli Brandio is joining the Sarasota team. So welcome, Suli. And we've also got Taylor Cologne, who is joining, my camera lens is covering that side of the screen, our BE3 team. So welcome, Taylor. And then Sorry Trout is joining the Sun City Center team. Go Deb, originally from Puerto Rico. And we've got one more, I think. Nope, two more. Laura Tom is welcoming to the Sarasota. Go Cat, bringing new team members. We can help get productive and build the life of their dreams. And then we have Brendan Carnes, who's new to the Sun City Center team as well. A Cincinnati native. I have two more. Claire King is a new agent to Sun City Center as well. Deb, you're on fire. Welcome, Claire, to our company. And Marcus Wilson is the first one I remembered, just joined the Apollo Beach office. So welcome to our new agents. And I know it's kind of weird to join a company that has no walls, but it is the way it is. Stay engaged as virtually as you can. And, oh, I don't want to stop my share. Shoot, sorry. Then I just like to hold that in front of you just because $149,000 is your benchmark to make masters this year. And I really hope they let us go to Hawaii when this pandemic is over. And then I want to cover leads up. Actually, social ads engine's down and leads are up. So this is the trend, guys. This is how it works. January usually is very slow. People are getting back into the swing of things after the holidays. And this is a 28 years of experience talking. February picks up, it gets busier. And then March is beginning of our spring selling season, which we missed last year. And I am just gonna tell you to rest up because it ain't stopping, right? And here's how it starts to ramp up. So Century 21 leads 60, relocation 24, up city 57, up walk-ins up from 6 to 13, sign calls up from 33 to 35. Zillow, I just put them on there to make fun of them. My Zillow lead team up from 26 to 28. Social ad engine down, but that was just Puma running ads. And after hours calls went from 2 to 7. So every category across the board was up on leads coming in. Birthdays this week. Yesterday was Lynn English's birthday from Sun City. Today is Mindy Smith, along with Kelly Sullivan from South Tampa. Tomorrow is Crystal Herman and Kathy Ariema, who I have not met yet. Kathy, happy birthday to you. I hope you're online. And Neil Rubenstein from IRB on the 3rd. We have Jules Murphy and Janelle Bates on the 4th. And then Friday the 5th is Ashanti Mack. And then Saturday is Anna Barna. 6th is Danielle Monteiro, along with Diane Krikorian on February 6th. And we have 3 birthdays on the 8th with Amy Bowles, Melanie Graziano, and Greg Trout. So happy birthday to you. Anniversaries, this is a big one. Amber Mills, 21 years. That's a big deal. I should probably send her flowers or something. 21 years with the same company. Phil DiRosario, 8, this is 21. So that's 13 years for Phil, 10 years for Melissa Phil and Terry Farless. Happy anniversary, Terry. Mike Moriarty is going on, does that 9 years, along with 8 years for John Cate in 2015. So 6 years for Chris Brown, Andrew Clement, Lee Imperato, and Ed Schwind, along with Susie. Susie, 6 years? Holy cow. Neil Witz, 6 years. Whoa. Julie Powell, 4 years. 3 years for Angela Fernandez. 2 years for Amanda Inario. Scott Wilkerson, Heidi Maynard, and Dale Herbert, and Anthony Zappa, and Aurora Kane. And 1 year anniversaries for Arlene Smith, Scott Davis, Lindsay Bushman, Susan Peterson, and Rachel Navarro. 1 year anniversaries. That's kind of cool. So happy anniversary and birthdays to everybody. And that being said, that's all I have on my agenda for now. Do we have any closing comments or best wishes from anybody? Best wishes for me. Stay warm.
I have something real quick. We're not out of inventory. We're just low. So,
yeah, I'm going to study that today. Actually, I'm going to go market by market and write down because we.
So I did that yesterday just for our local area. But there's 66 opportunities here in Sun City Center. There's 137 opportunities in Riverview, 84 opportunities to sell homes in Apollo Beach, and 87 in Ruskin. There's still houses to sell. Find the buyers. Go sell those.
Ascarello sent me a text this morning. The Tampa LSC inventory is still dropping, 3,078 this morning.
There you go.
Sun City Center, Kings Point total is at 63.
Yep.
So
So we still have houses to sell. So let's get really like ninja buyer agents and get them under contract.
well, let me give you one more bit of advice that could be relevant in some situations. Home Partners is a cash buyer. A lot of our, I'm gonna say it, a lot of our FHA, low down payment, and FHA buyers are not competitive in this market. When a new listing comes on, they're gonna lose, right? Unless you prepare them and have their loan so wrapped tight with a bow that you can check cash, no contingencies, right? And that's a risky proposition to put a buyer in. It just is. Don't do that unless they fully understand the risk, because our agent's doing that and it's risky. There is an opportunity though. It might cost them a little more, but the balance of power has shifted. The goal in a seller's market is to obtain the property. The goal in the buyer's market is to get the best deal. So there's two different opposing factions here. Get the property, get a great deal. Now it's get the property. So your disadvantaged buyer who is low down payment, FHA, VA, et cetera, might be in a better position to do a lease purchase program with Home Partners of America if the house qualifies. Let Home Partners be your cash buyer because they've got a great reputation in the marketplace. And then your buyer can go take their time and finance it out and buy it from Home Partners. It'll cost them 3.5% more because Home Partners is going to build the price up 3.5%. But if the goal is to get the property, that satisfies the goal. And just to put that in perspective, a $300,000 house, 3.5% is $10,500. And many times a $300,000 house will sell above full price by more than $310,000. So not getting it, buying it for 3%, 3.5% more a year later, or within a year later, might not be a bad idea. I'm not saying to do it. I'm just saying it's something to be aware of. So just a thought. Partners, use your tools. Got it.
And desktop underwriting, when you get loans approved on your buyers, don't just have a pre-approval that's a pulse and a driver's license and a social security. Run it through desktop underwriting. Most listing agents really appreciate that, and they're going to push that because you've done the hard work up front.
I like it. Okay, guys, it's a battle out there. Hey, Martin, we know that. It just takes, by the time we get your photo and get that little image made, I just play them out as they come. So no offense meant, but you'll be on one of the upcoming ones coming soon. Will Scott Wheeler buy in other states? Probably not. He doesn't have the resources to do the handyman and contractors and all that stuff. You know, it's kind of like, you know, should you just show buyers in another county? Probably not, because you don't have the resources to work there either. All right, guys, that's all I got for you today. Happy Tuesday. Stay listing focused. And if you're working buyers, be super, super strong on their qualifications, and good luck out there. Happy Tuesday.